Good evening and welcome to our March 26th study session. And we have all of our council here. Tonight we've got a number of service recognitions, retirement, some other awards. Then we will go into a study session where council has the opportunity to ask questions on things that we will be voting on Thursday. So first on our agenda tonight are scheduled public appearances. We have a number of city employee service and retirement recognitions. So City Manager Marcia Reed, lead us.
Thank you, Mayor. We'll start with service recognition. So would ask Derek Horn, Development Services Director, to come forward and make the presentation.
And Councilmember Lopez, if you please join me.
I'm going to ask David Delatorre to please come forward. And Mayor Harkey, members of the City Council, it is with great pleasure that I recognize David Delatorre's 20 years of service. David joined the City of Chandler in March of 1999 as a Planner 1, where he processed countless use permit, preliminary development plan, and rezoning applications. It became evident that his knowledge and ability of geographic information systems, or GIS, was a valuable skill. Many don't know this, but David helped create the land-based database layer in our GIS, which we still use today. 2005 found David promoted to Planner 2, as well as the city's general plan coordinator, where he calculated Chandler's build-out projections, monthly population estimates and projections, and maintained numerous databases related to land use. In 2008, David became principal planner. He took the lead role in the development and process of not one, but two state statute required general plan updates in 2008 and 2016. In August 2018, David became planning manager, where he oversees the day-to-day current and long-range planning efforts for Chandler. Outside of work, David has been married to his wife Liz for 18 years. They have 6 children, so he has plenty of spare time. Thank you, David, for 20 dedicated years of service to the City of Chandler.
All right, Mayor, I don't like when we have less service recognitions than we do retirements, but here we go, the retirement recognitions. So to start with, I'd ask Chris Kircher, our Facilities Maintenance Manager, to come forward and make his presentation.
Mayor and Council, it's my great honor to call up Gene Marquez and recognize him for his 30 years service as well as his retirement from the City of Chandler. Gene started his career with the City of Chandler in March of 1989 when he was just 2 years old. Wait, no, that was 21 years old. During his 30-year tenure, he's been an excellent ambassador for the city. He's been an integral part of Team Chandler and will be sorely missed. Being in building maintenance has given Gene a unique opportunity to work with virtually every department in the city at every level. He is well known and universally respected throughout the city. In addition to his work, Gene has given hundreds, if not thousands, of hours in volunteer community service work. He's been Santa Claus for both the senior citizens and the children since he was a very young man. He's volunteered as a coach of the Special Olympics and is always willing to help out wherever he can. During Gene's tenure, the city has grown substantially, so he has a wealth of knowledge that can't be found in any textbook or document. That knowledge will be missed, but not as much as Gene himself. Thank you, Gene, and congratulate you for your wonderful and excellent service, City of Chandler.
I would ask Brenda Brown, Community Services Director, to come forward and make her presentation.
Thank you. I'd like to invite Cece Martinez to come forward and join you. Tonight we celebrate Cece Martinez for retiring after 45 years of service to the City of Chandler and Chandler Public Library. She witnessed the library growing from a small one-room building serving a population of under 15,000 to today's modern library, which includes a collection of over 500,000 books and electronic resources. A native of the City of Chandler, Cece has deep roots in the community. Her family has lived in the Chandler area for generations. The Rosales family in A.J. Chandler Park even features her parents, Augustin and Trinidad Rosales. Throughout her years of service, Cece has worn many hats. She began her library career as the city's first library page. She drove that bookmobile that we saw at the museum dedication in December. And she spent the last few years delivering a weekly bilingual story time. While working full-time and raising a family, she also earned a bachelor's degree in business. She is now working in our youth department. Cece, thank you for your 45 years of service to the City of Chandler, and congratulations on your retirement.
I would ask our city magistrate, Judge Mike Trainer, to come forward and make his presentation.
Mayor, members of the council, it is my honor to ask Gary LaFleur to step down for his retirement recognition. Gary LaFleur began his career with the Chandler Municipal Court in July of 2000 as a pro tem judge. He was selected as a civil traffic hearing officer in May of 2001. During his tenure as a hearing officer, Gary was selected first as a member and subsequently as the chairman of the steering committee statewide for defensive driving schools by the Chief Justice. He was instrumental in the committee's decisions regarding standards for schools and instructors. He was appointed as a city magistrate in August of 2007 and has served in that capacity since. He served also as an instructor in the statewide civil traffic hearing officer training program, served as instructor for the training program also for many years, has been lauded for his knowledge, experience, and teaching skills. Gary has been involved also in the development of teaching materials for new judge orientation. He's actively participated in our judicial team, which establishes policies and procedures for judicial action. Thank you, Gary, for over 18 years of service to our community and for agreeing to serve as a pro tem in the future. We wish you the best in your retirement in the next chapter of your life.
All right. Mayor, we have one more, and last but certainly not least, I want to take the opportunity to say one more time, I would ask Brenda Brown, our Community Services Director, to come forward in recognition of her retirement. Yeah, she's dancing. Mayor, members of council, Brenda has been with the city for quite some time. began her Chandler career as a library clerk and a reference specialist in the late 1980s. She left, but saw the foresight to come back to us in 2004 as our library manager, and in 2015 was promoted to Cultural Affairs Director to oversee the Chandler Libraries, the Museum, Center for the Arts, and the Vision Gallery. Oversight of parks, recreation centers, and programs, as well as special events, were added to her responsibilities when she was promoted to Community Services Director in 2016. Brenda's career saw the growth of the Chandler Public Library branches, digital offerings, and programs. She also oversaw the Chandler Museum opening, Center for the Arts' most successful year in its history, opening neighborhood parks to advance council's vision and outstanding events and facilities for our community to enjoy. Brenda, I want to thank you for your 15 years of devoted service to Chandler and the citizens of our community. We wish you and your husband, who I know is in the back, the best of luck in your retirement. So congratulations.
All right. Is it on? All right. First of all, I'd like to thank my husband, my son in the back, and my 2-year-old grandson, Lewin, for being here tonight. Hi, Lewin. So I did want to say, you know, I was lucky enough to finish my career at the same location where I began. I showed up at the downtown library, which was then in the one-room area that CC was recognized for, to volunteer in 1986. I was considering going to library school, which I did. Started out as a library clerk and eventually left here to go work for a couple of other cities and then came back because there's no place like Chandler. I should click my ruby slippers together. I do want to just say briefly that our city management, our mayor and council, my management staff, our directors, and our line staff at all of our facilities, which include 4 libraries, Center for the Arts, Museum, Vision Gallery, 6 recreation centers, 6 aquatic centers, and everyone in all of those departments, all of those locations, all of those divisions work so hard to make the city the very best. Thank you.
Well, between these two, we're losing a lot of institutional knowledge in that department. So I'm glad that we continue to have fantastic staff with our city. And we want to thank you once more to all of our dedicated employees that we have looked at and honored tonight. So next we have purchasing awards for fiscal year 2017-2018. So I'd like to call up Dawn Lang, Management Services Director, to walk us through fiscal year 27-2018 purchasing awards.
Well, Mayor, I'm actually going to call up our purchasing division staff to stand up there with you, and I'll go ahead and read what March is all about. So besides St. Patrick's Day in the month of March, we also celebrate National Purchasing Month. Who knew, right? So tonight, I have the honor of recognizing the city's purchasing team for receiving the Achievement of Excellence in Procurement Award for 2018 from the National Purchasing Institute. Here to receive the award is Rosenda Contreras, Purchasing Specialist, Jose Tapia, our Supply Supervisor, and Christina Pryor, Purchasing and Materials Manager. The other 5 folks in their team were unable to make it tonight. But this distinguished award recognizes organizational excellence by measuring an agency's commitment to continuous improvement in areas such as innovation, professionalism, e-procurement, productivity, and leadership. The city has received this award for 14 consecutive years and is one of only 11 agencies in Arizona that get this award. Chandler's purchasing division belongs to an elite group of purchasing organizations in government that operate with the highest standards of quality and efficiency, receiving the best value with our city tax dollars for our goods and services. My thanks and appreciation to the purchasing team for their commitment and dedication to their profession. The city and the community benefit from this. Well done.
Well, we already took our picture. All right, next we have our 2019 Volunteer Award winner recognitions. And I know at least there was one person that was so excited about receiving this award that he showed up an hour in advance. Is that enthusiasm? Is that excitement? Or is that not knowing the right time? Leah Powell, Neighborhood Services Director, is going to lead our 2019 Volunteer Award winner recognition. Then we'll take a group photo afterwards.
Actually, Mayor, members of the council, I would like to call one of our greatest volunteers. I'd like to call her up and have her go ahead and do the presentation tonight. I'd like to call up Katie Kale with the Chandler Care Center. Care Center has been a partner in many of the things that we do with Forest City. So, Katie, thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor, Council. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm honored to introduce our Volunteer Award recipients for this evening. So I will jump right in and start with our Longevity Award, which went to Kay Pratt, who was nominated by One Small Step and Closed Cabin. Kay is one of the original founders of One Small Step and was part of a small group of women who began meeting in 2001 once a week to wash, mend, and package socks, which they would take to clothing banks, homeless shelters, school nurses, and any agencies serving the poor. During the past 17 years, Kay has been instrumental in the development and growth of One Small Step, both as a board member and a volunteer. Simply put, Kay does it all, and she does it with humility and very little fanfare. She has expanded the agency's reach to those in need by searching out and establishing partnerships with other groups and agencies serving those in poverty. Kay has also been a mentor to dozens of other volunteers and taken a leadership role in efforts to boost volunteer morale and well-being. Congratulations, Kay. You get to stand there for the rest. So the next award is the Makes It Happen Award for Gina LeBenz, who was nominated by CC's Hope Center, ICANN, and for our city, Chandler. Gina contributes everywhere in any way she can. She has devoted her time and passion over the past 17 years to causes that build up our community and help make Chandler the best place to live and raise a family. Her volunteer contributions in that time have included teaching a healthy living class, fundraising for scholarships for low-income families, and serving as an iLearn volunteer with teen moms in partnership with the Chandler Gilbert YMCA, working with schools as an art masterpiece teacher and a member of Perry High School's parent organization, serving as a CC Puede Girls Robotics team fundraiser mentor, leading a Girl Scout troop and volunteering for the Girl Scout Women of Distinction Awards, helping Streetlight USA, an organization aimed at assisting victims of human trafficking and educating the public, plan their fundraising ball in 2014, 15, and 16, serving on the planning committee for the annual fundraising event for CC's Hope Center, coordinating a toy and family gift drive, Stuffed with Love Boutique, which has assisted children at ICANN for 11 years, participating in the Chandler Chamber of Commerce Women in Leadership Luncheon, volunteering with For Our City Chandler in Operation Back to School, and I'm tired just reading this, Gina, and planning the East Valley Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. Congratulations, Gina.
Today, my book was supposed to launch April 11th, but it launched today. And there's one paragraph in my book about CC's Hope Center. Could I please read it?
Oh, yeah.
Would it be okay, Council? Is it okay, Mayor? One paragraph about CC's Hope Center. This is in the acknowledgement page, and it includes a live link to CC's Hope Center that'll be in the Kindle version, where people could just click, and if they wanted to donate, they could. Thank you so much, Crystal Blackwell, for mentoring me at our lunch together in March 2019. I took your advice and said your special prayer. God, let my purpose be a solution. God made his answer crystal clear when I went to a CC's Hope Center meeting that night. As they do not have the funds for a building yet, I offered to donate $1 for every Anchor Moments Hope, Healing, and Forgiveness book sold on Amazon. Wouldn't it be amazing if my book would be the solution? It gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. We will see soon enough. CC's Hope Center website tells more about their mission to assist young women ages 18 to 24 who have experienced sexual abuse as children. And their website is www.cccenter.org. Thank you so much.
Our next volunteer recognition award is the Multitasking Maestro Award, which goes to Mary Ellen Crane, who was nominated by Seroptimus and Partners of Tumbleweed Ranch. Mary Ellen epitomizes a multitasking maestro. In 2018, she took an active role in the Seroptimus International of the Santans as a member of the board of directors and membership committee, and in the organizational programs that support women's needs. Mary Ellen spearheaded the 9th annual Chandler Chuck Wagon Cook-Off, stepping in to relieve city staff from this task so they could focus on the opening of the new Chandler Museum. This annual fundraising event raises money to help with improvements at Tumbleweed Ranch, an outdoor interpretive area for the museum's school and community programming. Her volunteer efforts involved leading the sponsor recruitment, securing and coordinating the entertainment, planning for food needs for the Chuck Wagon team competition, leading the judging aspect of the event, which is probably the best part of it, let's be real, ensuring event supply purchases happened, coordinating the volunteer recruitment for the event, managing all vendors, and leading the design of a new website to host the event information and keeping it updated. She provided at least 250 volunteer hours to help make the cook-off a success. Mary Ellen truly deserves recognition for making this city event possible, for helping the Chandler Museum staff in a time of need, and for serving as a true community leader in her role as a dedicated volunteer. Congratulations, Mary Ellen. This year's Youth Award winner was Elena Ashton, who was nominated by the YMCA, Boys and Girls Club, and Girl Scouts. Elena Ashton is currently an 11th grader at Chandler Unified School District's Arizona College Prep Erie campus, and the school's chief science officer, VEX Robotics team president, and STEM ambassador. She also serves on Governor Ducey's CSO STEM Advisory Council. Elena strongly believes that the increase in STEM education, as well as STEM awareness amongst students, is incredibly important, and that promoting STEM awareness in our schools and communities is one of the ways we can increase student participation. Inspired by her parents and educators that were always willing to help and mentor children in their local community, in 2016, Elena co-founded a nonprofit organization, Education Empowers, Inc., to share her passion for STEM and robotics with children living in the neighborhood. Today, Education Empowers partners with a number of local nonprofits and volunteers from technology industries, offering free on STEM and robotics education for children and local through the YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, and for local Girl Scout teams, and at STEM workshops. Elena mentors a number of First LEGO League teams and recreational robotics teams in the Valley and spends one Saturday a month teaching Train the Trainer, which is a class she gives to adults who want to start after-school robotics programs in their schools and clubs. She provides hands-on training and curriculum for volunteers and staff from Chandler YMCA, Tempe YMCA, Chandler Boys and Girls Club, Gilbert Boys and Girls Club, Scottsdale Boys and Girls Club, Mesa Boys and Girls Club, Tempe Boys and Girls Club, Queen Creek Boys and Girls Clubs, and Guadalupe Boys and Girls Club. Along with other CSOs at her school, she organizes the annual STEM Fair event, which brings in hands-on STEM activities for about 300 students at her school. For bringing STEM to local Girl Scouts and inspiring local community children, she was recognized last year with a Cox Connect to STEM CSO Award. Congratulations, Elena. This year's Mayor's Choice Award, Mayor, are you okay with me reading this one? Okay, goes to Dr. Gary and Mrs. Annette Auxier, who were nominated by Chandler Unified School District and the Chandler Care Center. Together, Dr. and Mrs. Auxier have more than 40 combined years of volunteerism in Chandler, and their volunteerism spans 3 decades. Mrs. Auxier became a CUSD governing board member in 1998 and served as CUSD's longest tenured governing board member, serving for 20 years and 6 months before retiring in December of 2018. Governing board positions are uncompensated and require hundreds of hours of time and commitment, and she served as governing board president 6 times. She was elected by her fellow members because of her reputation for treating people and situations with grace and skill. She demonstrates compassion for all points of view, helping members of the public feel their voices heard and understood. And anyone who knows Mrs. Auxier or has heard her speak about education has witnessed firsthand the incredible heart and passion and often tears of joy she pours into her work. One of Mrs. Auxier's greatest traits is her character. She has a well-earned reputation for her honesty and innate ability to convey messages in a manner that respects others' points of view. Dr. Gary Auxier has volunteered serving uninsured Chandler youth at the Chandler Care Center for over 20 years. Each year, he provides no-cost medical care to hundreds of Chandler youth whose parents otherwise would not be able to pay for their care. In addition to well visits and sick visits, he specializes in diagnosing and treating ADD and ADHD. These cases require a depth of knowledge and skillful, compassionate care, and he provides just that. His calm, caring demeanor helps patients and parents feel less scared. He evaluates students and works closely with the student, parents, teachers, and behavioral health providers to ensure they're receiving both the medical care they require and additional resources needed to help maximize their potential so they succeed in school and in life. This care would be cost prohibitive for these families if Dr. Auxier did not assist. Together, Dr. and Mrs. Auxier have had an impact on the city of Chandler that is without measure. Their giving spirits, commitment to children and families, and passion for community are why they received the Mayor's Choice Award. One more. I know. And tonight's last award recognition goes for the People's Choice Award, which was awarded to Bob Dalp, who was nominated by Fort Veteran and United Arizona Veterans. Bob is the go-to person in Chandler and the East Valley when a veteran needs help. In addition to working full-time, Bob always makes the time to help our local veterans in need. While Bob volunteers with numerous organizations throughout Arizona, his most important work is done here locally when veterans are in need. Bob is able to quickly do a background check on the veterans, then jumps into action to literally save lives. One of the most remarkable stories was when a local veteran and his family were in need of furniture and household appliances for their family. Bob was able to rally the community to quickly deliver 2 truckloads full of donated items to this family in need. It should be noted that about 2,000 people voted on the People's Choice Award, and Bob was the far and away winner. So congratulations, Bob.
So Katie Kale and for our city Chandler Director Victor Hardy, would you please join us for the photo? You two have to come up to take pictures? You can get closer. I don't fight, come on. Well, hardly ever. And we have one more. I love recognizing our community for the good work that goes on here. Our next is Si Se Puede Foundation with Degrees of Freedom 2019 Robotics Regional Award. So Leah Powell, will you be making this one or handing this to somebody else? All right, come on up, group. Degrees of Freedom.
Hi, we're Degrees of Freedom. We're an all-female led-based high school team located in Chandler, Arizona, founded in 2017 with the help and support of the Si Se Puede Foundation, with a mission to serve underrepresented communities and to give back to a community that has given so much to us.
We work with forgotten and younger communities in the tech world. We have K through 8 robotics programs, and they do Lego robotics and underwater robots, and it's for boys and girls. Currently, we have over 2,400 hours of community service, and over the 3 years, we have 6,000 hours of community service.
Recently, our team has won the most prestigious award given to a robotics team at our competition at Northern Arizona University in Flagstaff, Arizona, called the Chairman's Award, which recognizes the team that best represents the models and values of FIRST Robotics. We earned this award for all our hard work in the community in both younger and older generations and the spread of STEM.
Currently, we are working on a robot to go to Grand Canyon University April 4th. And we are also going to go to Houston for the World Championships and compete for the National Chairman's Award. And we are also working on fundraising to get us there. And if you're interested, you can follow us on our social media pages at DOF 6413.
On behalf of all of Degrees of Freedom, we'd like to thank the City of Chandler for all their support. Thank you.
Thank you.
We will be continuing to follow your progress to Grand Canyon and Houston. Very exciting. So at our study session, we've had a few items called in for presentations. These have been, first one is number 11 by Councilmember Orlando.
Thank you, Mayor. This is one of the really feel-good stories for downtown. I'll let staff talk about it, but it's always good. You get questions time again of what's happening downtown, and one of the reasons why things are happening downtown is because we have a funding mechanism that the business community contributes to as well as the city, and I just wanted to get a quick update on what's going on with this program.
Mayor, Council, thank you for the opportunity to talk about this item. This regards the Enhanced Municipal Services District, which is currently in its 14th year. This is an agreed upon assessment placed on the property owners in the downtown for services up and beyond typical city services. Those services include marketing and promotion, security, beautification, and district management. The resolution before you authorizes the modification of the updated assessment diagram identifying the property owners in the district. It sets the public hearing date for May 9th when I'll come back and do a full presentation. It also provides the estimate of expenses for the DCCP for fiscal year 1920. I'll be back in May again to expand upon the Enhanced Municipal Service District and how the money was spent in the prior year. And then I'll be back one more time in June to talk about, to bring forward the contract with the Downtown Chandler Community Partnership, in whom these services are performed through. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Mayor. Real quick question, and Kim, you're doing a great job on that, and all the folks in the downtown area appreciate that. The assessment for like the Overstreet project and some of the ones that are on, is that will be a part of this group, or is that the next go around next year as well?
Councilmember Orlando, part of this assessment will be on this year, and the final assessment will be on next year's. The assessment is based on when they get their C of O, and they did not have their C of O by the end of the fall of 2018, so we've missed that cycle. However, we do have them on the rolls for all of the land and the assessment, and they do pay that. So in this year, they're paying an additional about $6,000, $7,000, and then next year they'll pay about another additional $8,000. So just the Overstreet project itself will bring in about $15,000 extra dollars for the Enhanced Municipal Services District.
Thank you. Thank you, Mayor.
Council, any other questions? Councilmember Stewart.
Thank you, Mayor. That fee or that assessment to the downtown businesses, that's not allowed to be put on a receipt. That's something that they fund out of their general funds or out of their profits, I would imagine, to enhance the downtown.
The assessment, once the council approves it, actually goes to the assessor's office, and that number that's assessed will be put in their tax bill for the fall of the next year.
Thank you, Kim.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
And Councilmember Orlando, item number 27.
Is 13 and 15 on there, Mayor?
Yeah, I thought you were going to have the police chief just come up and do both.
One
just a
time, okay, great.
presentation.
We'll just,
Yeah.
27 is another really good story, Mayor, about what we're doing in fiber and technology to help save money and obviously time and energy. So this is another project where our public works folks are working diligently on, and we'll let them take it, be proud for a little bit.
The Mayor, Councilmember Orlando. Thank you for asking about our fiber optic system in the city of Chandler. It is one of those utilities that not a lot of folks know about. About 20 years ago, the fiber optic system was first started to connect all of our traffic signals throughout the city. Since that time, the fiber optic system has now been expanded and used as a backbone for our IT and telephones. So all of our computer network and telephones are now on that backbone. We're currently involved in a fiber optic master plan to assess the system as it is today, and then really determine where we can take that system into the future. So it's the master plan will help us determine those things. The particular project on the agenda this evening is a project at one of our wastewater treatment plants, the Ocotillo Water Reclamation Facility. And what this fiber optic network will do there is tie together all of our aquifer storage and recovery wells, and that will help us to remotely control and see these systems as we operate. Our reclaim system is becoming more and more complicated, and so having that remote control network at the facility will really help us to optimize our operations. Thank you.
Mayor, I've been to a lot of command posts before, but these guys have a pretty good command post. They could tell you what almost every drop of water is at any one time in the city and where traffic's going. So great job over there.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. And Councilmember Orlando, items 13 and 15.
Thank you, Mayor. Again, as you know, Mayor, public safety is a top priority for this council and this city, and these are really two good projects that I know some of them are ongoing, some of them are trying to get some additional funding, but I think it's good that the chief come up here and tell us a little bit about both those projects and what it does to help our citizens be a little safer.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. The first resolution, number 13, is a request to approve an intergovernmental agreement with the city of Phoenix to continue Chandler's partnership and the participation in the Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force. We've been a member of that task force since 2004, and their charge is primarily to investigate, prosecute, and ideally deter very serious crimes against children that are conducted primarily over the internet. And by being a member of this regional task force, we're able to leverage training, funding, but most importantly, resources. It's economy of scale where we have all the local agencies working together alongside our federal partners to seek out predators that are out there, unfortunately, every day trying to do harm against kids via the internet. So it's an incredible opportunity to work regionally, and it has a direct effect on our community right here in Chandler. Our second item is a resolution to approve acceptance of grant funding from the Governor's Office of Highway Safety, funding that is primarily geared towards traffic-related programs. For example, each year we participate in a regional DUI task force around the holiday season, from the day after Thanksgiving through New Year's Eve, and throughout a number of different holidays throughout the year as well. This funding will provide overtime for our officers to conduct those investigations and be out there at night, helping to keep our roadways safe. But also some of the other programs that would be funded by GOHS is our Know Your Limits campaign. This is an outstanding preventive program where we have officers that will attend a number of special events where there's consumption of alcohol, and they'll be out there engaging the community, engaging the public, and on a voluntary basis, if someone with the public wants to get their breath tested to see the alcohol content before they drive, we're able to do that. And again, it's a prevention, but it's also education, and it's one way that we are out there engaging with the community to keep our roadways safe as well. But this funding also helps us provide motorcycle clinics that we put on throughout the year, motorcycle safety clinics. It provides funding for our phlebotomists and our lab. So this is a very important fund. It's around $200,000 that we receive from GOHS, and this is a request for council to allow us to receive that grant funding.
Mayor, that's all I had. Just wanted to, like I said, give the chief a chance to gloat a little bit. And, you know, you and your men and women are doing a great job keeping us safe. We certainly appreciate it. And any little bit helps. We could leverage funding from the federal government, state, as well as other entities. It goes a long way. So thank you.
Thank you.
Council, any other questions related to this item or others on our agenda? All right, again, as our study session, we'll be back on Thursday to vote on these items, and this concludes our study session. We do have the second part of part 2 of our budget session